Good morning. My name is David, and I am an astral projector. And I would like to talk to you about astral projection. I've been practicing astral projection for the past 5 years, and I would like to share with you everything that I learned and hopefully help you to learn how you can do it on your own. First, I would like to apologize. My English is not perfect, so you will see that I make some mistakes here and there. In this first video, I would like to give you an introduction about astral projection so you can understand what it is and what are the phenomena around astral projection. And also, I would like to help you to answer some questions that people have around dangers or myths of astral projection. So there are many myths that people say, oh, you go out of your body and you can die, maybe you cannot come back, this and that. So I'd like to talk about this in this first video. Before I start the video, I would like to give you the testimony of my first astral projection experience, so you can understand a little bit what is astral projection. So I've been experiencing astral projection since I was a kid, but I didn't know what it was. For me, they looked like some sort of different dream. Something that was a dream that was very unique in its format, right? The perception of things on that dream was different. Things looked differently. My consciousness was in a different level, but I didn't know what it was. So for me, they were just dreams, a different type of dream. And when I was in my 20s, I started reading a book about astral projection, and I had an astral projection at that time. And I saw my body, I saw the body of my girlfriend at the time in the bed, but everything was very blurry and dark. So I thought it was just because I was reading about astral projection, maybe my unconscious part of mind created that dream and then gave me the impression that I was going out of my body. So I didn't believe in that experience. Today I know that it was an astral projection, and I understand why I saw everything very blurry and dark. So many times that happens, people go out of their bodies, but everything is very blurry, very dark. They feel that they are very sleepy. So that's something that we're gonna discuss in this series of videos, why that happens and how can we avoid that. And I suffered from sleep paralysis for a very long time in my life, and I didn't know what sleep paralysis is. I had no idea. I was very scared of sleep paralysis because I thought that there was some sort of spirit or evil entity trying to control me, and I couldn't move. My body felt paralyzed, and I felt this great fear. But around 5 or 6 years ago, I decided to try something different because I used to feel this paralysis, and sometimes I would experience some sort of vibration on the back of my head. So around this area here, I would feel some sort of vibration, and I hated that. So one day I felt the same thing. I woke up, I was paralyzed, I couldn't move, and I felt this vibration here, which is very bothering. Even today, I don't like that. But I decided to face it. I told myself, all right, maybe there's a spirit trying to control me and some sort of entity, but I need to face it. I need to face this fear. I need to face this thing once for all. So I decided to relax on that situation of the sleep paralysis instead of getting scared. So I said, I will breathe and I will try to relax. And I started relaxing, and all of a sudden that vibration in the back of my head, it started moving to my whole body, and I felt my entire body vibrating. And this is called vibrational state. I didn't know that at that time. So I felt this vibration like waves. And at some point they stopped. And when they stopped, I thought with myself, maybe the spirit did his thing, I don't know. But I'll open my eyes and I'll face this thing. If it's a spirit or if it's not a spirit, whatever it is, I'll open my eyes and I'll face this thing. But as a software developer, I was very rational, and I thought, if I open my eyes and I see whatever spirit, I don't know what it is, but I can get scared. So first I'll just blink very quickly to see what I need to face when I fully open my eyes. Then I said, okay, I'll count to 3 and I'll blink, and let's see how this thing looks like. I said 1, 2, 3. When I blink, instead of seeing some sort of evil creature, I saw the sun in the sky shining. I thought, well, there's something very wrong here. I'm awake. I'm in my apartment. We are in the middle of the night. My wife is by my side, and by no means I can see the sun shining in the sky. There's something very wrong here. Okay, here what I gotta do. I will blink again, and let's see what I see this time. I blink again and I see the sun shining, same thing, nothing changed. I said, all right, so there's something very wrong. I'm pretty sure that's something very wrong. Maybe I slept and I don't know what happened. Maybe I'm in a different place. I need to come to reason. I was very confused, very puzzled. Then I opened my eyes and I saw the sun, and something started moving my body because I was laying down, and sun starting to move my body to the vertical position. And then I saw when whatever it was moved my body, I saw a city very different with different colors. It was amazing, super beautiful. I said, wow, what is this? Where am I? And some energy, some force was carrying me. And it took me to different place, and I was talking with this energy. I said, oh, I want to I realized I'm out of my body. And then I told to this force that was carrying me around that I would like to test. I said, I want to see if I can taste things. And it took me somewhere where I could taste. I said, oh, I can taste, I can smell. So I started testing everything. Then that was my first experience, an amazing experience. Since then, I started trying to make sense of, to make sense of this, what happened here. Then I started studying astral projection, and that's why I'm here today. So that said, I hope this start can help you. We're gonna talk about sleep paralysis. Many people face sleep paralysis, so we're gonna talk about how can you use your sleep paralysis state to achieve the lucid astral projection. All right, so let's talk about astral projection. What is astral projection and how can you study it? How can you learn? How can you practice? So this first video is more of an introduction to the basics of astral projection. And in the next videos, I will start talking about the energies, the techniques, stuff like that. But this first video is very important if you want to practice astral projection, because it gives you the basics. It helps you to understand. It helps you to understand the different myths or things that people talk about astral projection that are not true, or things that are true. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. So let me share my screen here. And all right, astral projection. So we are here on the basics of astral projection. I hope you can see my screen. And so what is astral projection? Or how can we study astral projection? So let me close this. So I would like to first to talk about people who studied, who researched astral projection, and I will present you to some people that I believe are very serious in this topic. So the first of them is the professor WALDO VIEIRA. He was a Brazilian physician, and he studied astral projection for his entire life. And in my opinion, he produced the best research and the best materials around astral projection. He was also a psychic, and he wrote some books as a psychic. So I have some of his books here. Let me show you. So these are some of the books that he wrote as a psychic. Evolution in two worlds or in two dimensions, and Destiny and Sex. So two different books. This one is very good, Evolution in Two Worlds, a very technical book. And Professor WALDO VIEIRA, in the course of 19 years, he researched astral projection and he developed this work here, the Projectiology. So this book has more than 1,000 pages about the different phenomena around astral projection, and he teaches techniques and different stuff. He read more than 5,000 books to compile this material, and he used many of his own research. And how can you research, right? We're gonna talk about how can you research something like astral projection. So you can find this book online for free. It's called Projectiology in English, and you can download the PDF, but it's a very dense material, very technical. He took a very scientific approach, since he was a physician, to study astral projection. So I myself consider this the best material Here, you will not find any religious content or mystical or anything. It's a very technical material around astral projection. His proposal was a science called projectiology to study the phenomena around astral projection. So this, and what I really like of his studies, after that he's created the conscientiology around the studies of consciousness. What is consciousness and where it comes from? How can we study consciousness? And one of his principles was the principle of disbelief. He said, do not believe in anything. Do not believe in anything. Do not believe in anyone that people tell you. Not even what you are informed here. Experiment. Have your own personal experience. So this is something that I would like to tell you as well. Do not believe in anything that I say here, because I can be lying. I can be saying I am an astral projector, but I'm not. Maybe I'm just lying. So do not believe. Try the techniques, study, have an open mind, but do not be one of those fools who believe in anything they hear about anything, right? So keep an open mind, but do not be one of those people who listen to something and then they tell it, oh, this is true, you know, because someone told me that this is true. No. When you have your own experience, when you have your own astral projections, then you can say, yes, it's true because I did that, because I experienced that, but not before that. You cannot say that astral projection is true if it really exists, if it's really possible, if you never experienced that. So have your own experience, and then you can arrive at your own conclusions. So this is the book. As I said, you can find his book online, his work online for free. So you can download the PDF if you want to study that. But again, this is a very technical material, kind of complicated to read, mainly for people who have no background on astral projection. So my advice would be read other books first, then you can come to this book and try to understand what he's talking about. Another guy that I like to use his material is Wagner Borges. He's a Brazilian as well, and he studied with WALDO VIEIRA for many years. Then he created something else, something different. And I'm using the image that I use on these slides are from his book Viagem Espiritual, or Spiritual Travel, the projection of consciousness. So I would like to ask you if you can to support his work. He does a great work in Brazil. So if you can go to Amazon and buy one of his books, you can make great use. The books are in Portuguese, but they are very illustrated. So if you can go there and support his work, that would be great. If not, that's okay. I also use some of the material of Allan Kardec. Allan Kardec was a French, and he was also a researcher, and he's the founder of Spiritism. So his research was more around mediumship and the phenomena of communication with spirit. So he created a very good material. I recognize that his work has some mistakes, some problems, and to make his work survive, he tried to mix that with Christianity because of the church at the time. But I still believe that his work is very, very good. So if you want to study phenomena around mediumship, his work is a great work to start. It's a great starting point, mainly the Spirits book and the Mediums book. So these two books are very, very good. So I'm going to use some of his research from the Spirits book. So, all right, so let's start. So what is astral projection? So I have two questions. So the Spirits book that Allan Kardec wrote was basically, he did a research. He asked questions to the spirits replied to him, and he wrote the questions and the answers from those questions. So how did he do that? How could he possibly know that the questions were the real questions? Mainly because he was not a psychic. He was a professor and a researcher. So what he did is he wrote the questions and he sent the same questions to mediums or to psychics in different parts of the world, different countries in Europe. That would be more accurate, or different mediums in French and different parts of Europe. And he would compare the answers and he would check if the answers were the same. So if the answers were the same, he knew that that was the right answer. So basically he found a method to ask these questions to the spirits and make sure that these questions were the right questions. The answers were correct. So yeah, so that's it. So in the question number 400 of the Spirits book, he asked to the spirits, does an incarnate spirit willingly stay in its corporeal envelope? So do we stay all the time inside of our bodies if we are spirits? And we are assuming here, since we are talking about astral projection, that we are spirits, right? But you don't need to believe in that again. Just keep an open mind. So does an incarnate spirit willingly stay in its corporeal envelope? So the spirits answered him, that is like asking if a prisoner is happy being under lock and key. An incarnate spirit constantly aspires to freedom. The denser the envelope, the more it wants to be free of it. So, and he asked in the question number 401, during his sleep, does the soul rest like the body? No, a spirit never remains inactive. During sleep, the bonds that join it to the body are loosened. And since the body does not need it while sleeping, the spirit travels through space and enters into a more direct relationship with other spirits. So basically what they are saying is, every time the body cannot hold the spirit because we slept, the body slept, not the astral body. What they call spirit here, I rather call astral body, right? Because there are different usages of the term spirit. So let's call what they are calling spirit astral body. So does the astral body stays inside? No, the astral body, whenever the physical body loses the ability to hold it, it moves out of the body. So what they are saying is, in this image from the Astral Travel book, or Spiritual Travel from Wagner Borges, we are seeing someone is sleeping here, the body is sleeping, and the astral body starts moving out. Now, we can see that the astral body is moving without conscious of that. So that's what happens many times. We move out of our physical body when it loses the ability to hold the astral body, but we move out of our physical body without consciousness of that. So we don't know we are moving out. We have no control of that process. So what we are trying to achieve is not the astral projection. We are not trying to move out of our bodies, because we already do that. By the answer of the spirits here, every time we sleep, we move out of our bodies. So we are already astral projecting. We are already moving out of our body, but we are not conscious of the process. So what we are trying to achieve is lucid astral projection, or consciousness and control of the process. Many times we go out of our bodies, but we are not lucid. We move and we experience things, and in the spirits book, they're gonna talk about that. We experience things and we come back to our bodies and we believe that we had dreams. Sometimes we had astral projections, but we are unconscious of that. We are not lucid about this process. So what we simply call astral projection is better defined by the name of lucid astral projection, or astral projection with control of the process and lucidity, consciousness of the process. So when I move out of my body, I know that I'm moving out of my body. And in the first experience, you may think, no, maybe my consciousness or my subconscious is creating this illusion. But then you start experiencing 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 100 times, and we start making sure that this is really happening. You experience things, you see things, then you read things. Now, I myself, I had some experience that I said, this is kind of crazy. Then I went to books that I didn't know, that I had never read before. And I found the description of the same experience that I experienced. So that gives you some certainty that you went out of your body. So this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to move out of our bodies consciously. And how can we do that? So there are many techniques developed by different people to allow us to achieve the lucid astral projection. Now there's something very important that I have to say here. You never did this before. You never experienced astral projection. You never had an astral projection before. Some people can't even dream. So it's like working out. I never worked out before. My muscles are not used to do that. So it will take some time until my body gets used to that. The same thing happens with the consciousness. If we never did astral projection before, the first astral projection is not easy to achieve. The first lucid astral projection is not very easy to achieve. So we need to try, and we need to try hard, but it's possible for everyone to do that. If you understood what I talked here about astral projection, basically everyone can do that. There's no special requirements. You don't need to be a psychic or anything. It's a natural process. It's something that happens every night and happens every time your body sleeps. So you don't need to believe in a religion. You don't need to pray. You don't need to do special mantras or anything. That just happens. It's a natural process. So anyone can do, or anyone can achieve the lucid astral projection, but it takes some effort because your consciousness is so used to the process of the body sleeping and the astral body losing consciousnness, that it's kind of hard to teach yourself to re-enter that instruction in your mind saying, hey, now the body will sleep, but not the astral body, but not the spirit. Just the body will sleep, and the spirit will stay awake, or the astral body will stay awake. And when the body sleep, I move myself out of the body. So it's not an easy process to achieve. I'm not lying to you, telling you that it's super simple to do. So, but through techniques and through persistence, we can anyone can achieve that. So the time to achieve the first experience can vary from weeks to some years. I've seen people who tried, like myself. I was just reading a book about astral projection, and I did that. But some people, sometimes it takes some weeks, sometimes it takes some months. And I met people who took 5 years to achieve their first astral projection experience. It took them 5 years. So it's a very long time. They were very persistent, but they did that. But in the majority of the case, these are extremes. Some people that just happens. Some people can do that. It's not clear why some people can arrive at the experience easier than others, and why for some people it's so hard. But it's doable for anyone. So even if because some people they lost their confidence, they say, oh, it does not exist, it's not possible. I tried for 1 week and I couldn't do that. You need to try harder. If you really want to have that experience, it can take some months. Even for me to learn how to control that, it took a long time. It took several months for me to learn how to control the process. So how was it studied? How people like Waldo Vieira, this guy here, how could he study that? So he used to run different experiments, and he used to take notes on everything, like what did I eat tonight? What the time? What time I went to sleep? What was the temperature? So he started taking notes and generating statistics, and he started making the same thing for other people, and same thing for the techniques, to define what techniques are better and what techniques are worse. Now about the techniques, something that I need to say is there are several techniques, but some techniques works better for you or for me, and some techniques do not work at all. So different people have different techniques that work. So it's good to have different techniques and to try different things. It's not very good to stay, oh, I need to move out of my body this way. I need to move out of my body. There's just this technique. There's just this is the only way. And I need to keep trying to do that, because sometimes it's very, very hard. So it really helps. Of course, you cannot try the technique just once and say, oh, it didn't work, so let me jump to the next technique. But you try a few weeks, and if it doesn't work, or if you feel it's very difficult for you, you move to a different technique and you try something else. So the experiments helped Waldo Vieira to study it. So he ran different experiments. When I was training with them, one of the experience was I live here, I live in the US, but I was training online and they were in Brazil. And they prepared a special room with a book, a number, and there was a third thing that I don't remember what it was. And we had to move out of our bodies, go there, and figure out the name of the book. It was a 5 digits number, and we would need to figure out the number and the it was some color, some. I didn't do that. I wasn't able to do that. But one of the people that was in our training, he did. He figured out the name, the color, and the number, but not the name of the book. But he figured out the color and the number. It was impressive. So these are some of the experiments that you can do. So you can put a box in a different room and see if you can go there and see if the box is there and what's the content of the box. So or sorry, someone can put the box and you have no idea what's in the box. So you go there and you look at the box. It's not easy to do. I need to tell you that, but it's possible. We're gonna talk about that when we discuss dimensions. So it's kind of hard to do. Another thing is shared experience. So you have one experience and another astral projector has the experience as well. So you say, oh, I'll try to project myself tonight. You try, and we're gonna try to meet here at this place. It's also not easy to do, but it's possible. I met many people that did that, and I did that twice. I had experience with other astral projectors. So you can have shared experience. And of course, the replication of the experience, as I said, what's the, how many times this technique works. So let's try with different people and let's see how. So when I trained with the Institute of Projectiology, they have a form for you to fill out after every astral projection. What was the time that I was able to move out of my body? What was the technique that I used? And what was the direction of the bed? The bed was headed to west, or temperature. So position of the body. So by all these variables, they study, collect statistics, and discover what is the best way to achieve the astral projection. So, and here we have one of the techniques called the vibrational state. So this is the International Institute of Projectiology and Conscienciology. So what are the benefits? Why should I do astral projection? Why should I do that? Is there anything there for me? Does it worth to be able to do that? So the first thing, and this is something that WALDO VIEIRA talks in his book that I think it's very interesting, is the replacement of faith with knowledge acquired through personal experience. I believe that it's very poor just to believe in someone because they told you so. So you say, oh, the guru told me that there is an afterlife, so I believe that. I do not believe in life after the death of physical body. I'm sure of that. I have no doubt about that. It's not fate. It's not a matter of fate. It's a matter of knowledge. Like I went there several times. I compared my experience with different books written by different people in different times, and I'm pretty sure that there is life after death. So it's not a matter of fate anymore for me. It's a matter of knowledge. I know how to do that, how to go there. I talked to people who live in these different dimensions, and I came back to my body. So I'm sure of that. There's no doubt about that for me. So you can replace faith, which is the dependency of someone telling you something, the dependence of someone telling you, oh, there is life after death, there is this, there are chakras, there are meditational states, there is this and that. But many times there is enlightenment, but many times you cannot experience that. So it's a matter of faith. You just believe. But instead of believing in something, it's way better than knowing for sure that that is true or not true. Having your own experience. So I go there and I see by myself and I arrive at my own conclusions. And to be very honest with you, through these years practicing astral projection, I realized that many of these gurus, these guys that are telling that there is this and that, they're just lying, because they don't, what they say doesn't resonate with my experience. And my experience resonate with many books and many serious people that talked about these dimensions. Then I could start separating what people are reliable, what are reliable source of information, and what aren't reliable source of information. So, and it comes to the second point here, the independence when it comes to spiritual beliefs. You don't need to believe in a guru or a master, a priest, or whoever. You just go there and you see by yourself. You have your own experience, and you don't need to be sorry for the term, but enslaved by these beliefs. The third point that I think is very good thing is thanatophobia, the fear of death. When you go out of your body, not one time, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 100 times, you kind of lost the fear of death. I'm not talking about the fear of dangerous situations. Of course, I fear dangerous situations. If my body is in danger, or if I'm in danger, I fear that. But I don't have the fear of the death, because I don't have doubt about what comes before that. So, okay, if my body ceases to work, if my body stops, then I know what happens. I understand, because every time I move out of my body, it's like, and Waldo VIEIRA calls mini death. It's a mini experience. It's not the same. It does not have it doesn't have the same intensity, but it's like training for that experience, for that final experience during our physical life. Another thing that you experience is a state of hyperlucidity. You are more awakened than you are here right now, way more. It's impressive. The level of lucidity that you acquire is very impressive. So it's hard to explain. You need to experience that, but you are super awake. Your mind is working faster. Your memory is expanded, so you can remember different things that you can't remember while you are inside of the body. So it's a very interesting state to explore. Freedom, the freedom to do things, the freedom to fly, to experience different things, but things that you can do out of your body. So this is very unique and very interesting. And other thing that's very interesting is retrocognitions, memory of past, memory of your past lives, memory of things that happened while you were in the spiritual dimension. So you can have these retrocognitions, the memory of the past. You can also have, and it's more rare, precognitions, perceptions of the future. But you can, it's very interesting, because you can see that the mind has, out of the body, the mind breaks some barriers, and you can experience different possibilities or different capacities or attributes of the mind. So it's very interesting to go there. And I point 3 points here because there are so many things that, but yeah, we can talk about these different things in the future. So what are the myths? I don't know if I'm saying that word or if I'm saying that word in the right way. Myth. It's hard for me, but good thing I have it's written here. So all right. What are the myths around astral projection? People fear astral projection because there are so many things that people say without knowing anything about astral projection. So one of the myths is you can leave your body and not want to come back, or you can get lost and not be able to come back. So there's a myth that says that maybe I can go to a very beautiful, amazing place. Like I went to a city, it was beautiful, and maybe you don't want to go back and you just stay there and your body dies. That's not true. That's a lie, or I can go out of my body. I can go to a place that I don't know. I can get lost and then I'm not able to come back. That's not true because we have what's called the silver cord, for lack of a better term. The silver cord is it's an energetic connection that connects the physical body and the astral body. And that connection pulls you back. It doesn't matter if you want or if you doesn't. It's natural. It's a natural process. It pulls you back. Anytime the body needs you, or like the body will awake, or someone move your body or whatever. So there are a lot of, because of the silver cord, we need to, when we try astral projection, we need to take a lot of how can I say that? It's not measures, but we need to take care of certain aspects of the astral projection. Like when you go to practice astral projection, it's better if you have a room to do that, and if you are alone there, because if someone moves or someone touches you or someone makes a noise or something, your body can try to awaken, and the silver cord will pull you back. And it's very, very, very fast. So you are in whatever, in the 70th dimension, and the silver cord pulls you back very, very fast. Another myth is the silver cord can break. Another thing about get lost. Sorry, but it's very important. If I'm in the astral and I'm in danger and I'm facing some dangerous situation, I'm scared, can I come back to my body? You just need to think in your body. You just need to say, I want to go back to my body. If you think in your body, you will come back to the body. It doesn't matter in what situation you are, in where you are, you just need to think, because the silver cord takes care of this process for you. So if you think, I want to go back to my body now, boom, you come back to your body. So you don't need to worry about that as well. So many times I was out of the body in some weird place. And then I said, oh, I need to leave this place now. Then I have this advantage. I always say that it's an advantage. We have a physical body. So it doesn't matter. I can always come back to my body. The silver cord will pull me back. I just need to, hey, I want to go back to the body. Another myth is the silver cord can break during the projection. Some people say, oh, the silver cord, if you go very far, if you move, that's not true. The silver cord cannot break. This myth comes from the idea, and we see here the silver cord in this image. So it comes from the idea that the silver cord is like a cable, like, something like that. But the reality is the silver cord is more like Um, the silver cord is more like a Wi-Fi connection. It's some sort of energy, some sort of communication traveling through the air. It's not the air, but whatever. So you can understand better. So it cannot get entrapped. The silver cord is not a cable. Otherwise, like I'm moving out of my body, there's a tree over there. So my silver cord could get coiled in the tree, and but it's not. It doesn't happen. The silver cord does not get entrapped, or it's not a cable. It's more like it's an energy. So another myth is a spirit can take my body while I'm out. That's not true as well. When we are out of our bodies, sorry, something happens. Let me show you. I think it's not here. Let me. Oh yeah. So there's it's the aura. So whenever we move out of our bodies, there's an aura that is created around of our bodies to protect our bodies for any intrusion. So whenever we move out of our bodies, there is no spirit that can come close to our body or anything like that. What happens if my body is in danger? This is one of the fear that people have. I move out of my body, I'm in the astral, I'm having some sort of experience. Then a burglar break into my house, and then I'm not there to save myself, and he can kill me. It doesn't happen because the body never fully sleeps. It enters in a sleep mode like a computer. It's kind of, it reduces its functions. But when you move out of your body, the body is kind of, it still has the basic function. So if there is a noise, if someone breaks into your house or something like that, that sound will generate like an alarm or something like that in your body. And the body will say, oh, maybe I'm in danger. And it will activate the silver cord and it will pull you back. And you don't need to worry about that. So by what I'm saying here, you can understand that the silver cord is very sensitive. It can pull you back in many situations. So the hard thing is not to go out of your body. The hard thing is to not be pulled back. In many situations, my body was thirsty, and when you are out of your body, you can feel your physical body. So sometimes I'm in the astral body. The other day I was in my astral body with some people, and I told them, I think my body will pull me back because the body is thirsty. I'm feeling my gorge, and it's very dry. My throat, right? And it's very dry. So probably this I will be pulled back, and that happened because my body was thirsty. The body pulled me back. So it's a very sensitive mechanism. Anything that happens to your body can pull you back. So it's very important for you to make sure that your body is very comfortable, that you are sleeping in a very comfortable position, that you are in a room free of as much as possible, free of noise or interference, stuff like that. So your body will not be, so your body will not pull you back. So here we see the silver cord, and someone is sleeping and moving out of his body. So one thing that we can see here as well is it doesn't matter the position that the body sleeps that much. In any position we move out of our bodies. So now I'd like to talk about the consciousness, because we have the body, the physical body, and we have what we call the astral body. So this is the physical body, the astral body, and we have something that is not any of those bodies. Something that is alive and animates those bodies, gives them life. And this Waldo Vieira called this consciousness. I like this term better. And Allan Kardec called spirit. So Allan Kardec interchanges terms. That's why I don't like the term spirit, because he used spirit to talk about consciousness, and he used spirit also to talk about the astral body. But these are two completely different things. So the spirit is the principle, what is alive and what brings life to the different bodies. So in the question number 23 of the Spirit's book, he asks the spirits, what is spirit? And they say the intelligent principle of the universe. What is spirit's innermost nature? What's it made of? So what's this thing? So they say it's not easy to explain spirit in your language. For you, it's nothing because it is not something palpable. Nevertheless, for us, it is something. You must realize that nothing means nothing and nothing does not exist. Question number 4. He asks, is spirit synonymous with intelligence? Intelligence is one of the essential attributes of spirit, but both merge into a common principle. Thus, for you, they are one and the same thing. So the consciousness is something that is not palpable from our perspective as incarnated beings. Spirit's not something material, something palpable, something that has physical dimensions like height, width, depth. So the spirit is, the consciousness is something that is not palpable. And for us, it's very interesting what they say. For you, it's nothing. So you have no, and this consciousness was called by different names in different cultures. So consciousness in conscienciology, spirit, Atman in Hinduism, intelligent principle, it was called by different names in different cultures, but all of them perceived that there is something that goes beyond these bodies. So if we look at the Hindu culture, we also see the concept of bodies, of different bodies. In many cultures, to be honest, we can see the concept of different bodies. And we're gonna talk a little bit about these bodies in the next slide. But there is something beyond those bodies. What is the cause of the life that exists in those bodies? And that is what we are calling here consciousness. So here we're going to start talking about the different bodies. It's important to understand them when it comes to astral projection. So there is consciousness, and we don't know what consciousness is. We have no idea what consciousness is, because we have no means to explore the nature of consciousness, where it comes from, how it exists, was it created, did it exist all the time? We don't know, have no idea. But what we can study and what we can understand through astral projection are the bodies, the different bodies. So we don't know what consciousness is, but we know our bodies. So the bodies that we can experience through astral projection are basically 3. The physical body, this one here that we already know, that I have, you have, if you are watching this video. So we all have a physical body. We understand that, we can feel that. And we have an astral body. And that's the body that we commonly use when we are out of our body, when we move out of our physical bodies. So we have another body that is a copy, but has different attributes, different abilities, different capacities from the physical body. And we're gonna talk about more about that in the future. But for now, you just need to know that it's a copy of the physical body. So it looks very, very close to your physical body. Now we have two different bodies, right? And consciousness is animating or giving life to both of them. Now, how consciousness comes from the astral body to the physical body? We need to have some sort of connection. Let's say that I want to connect two equipments. I need to have a cable, something else to connect these two things. So how do I connect the astral body to the physical body? The astral body exists in the astral dimension. The physical body exists in the physical dimension. Now, how can I connect these two things? So there is a third thing that's not really a body, but we can call it a body for understanding, for purpose of understanding. And it's the energetic body, the body of the energies. So this body of energies works like an intermediary and connection between these two bodies. The energetic body is not fully physical nor fully astral or spiritual. It's an intermediate body between these two, and it manages the communication between the astral and the physical body. So anything that happens in the physical body travels through the energetic body and goes to the astral body, and in the same thing, anything that happens in the astral body travels through the energetic body to the physical body. Because by the end of the day, like if I touch you, it's not your physical body who is reacting or feeling that. It's our consciousness. It's our consciousness, the part of us which is alive, and that we don't know what is. But the information needs to travel from the physical body to the consciousness. And for that, it needs some connections. So between the physical body and the astral body, this connection is called the energetic body. In the Hindu culture, if I'm not wrong, they call it pranamaya kosha, or the body of energy. And in this body of energy is where we find the chakras. So the chakras are part of these energetic bodies, sorry. And according to the Hindus, we have more than 70,000 chakras. They classified 7 principal chakras. Different cultures classified a different number of chakras as principal, the principal chakras, but the main chakras. But in general, we use the Hindu culture. Here, I have the Cindy Dale book. If you want to take a look at that, The Subtle Body. It's a very good book, and she talks a little bit about this, about how different cultures, like the Hindu culture, Tibetan culture, the Mayas, how are the Cherokee, Native American people, like here we have the Cherokee system, how they classified a different number of chakras as the main chakras. But beyond that, we must have other bodies. The Hindus, if I'm not wrong, they talked about 7 bodies. But Through the astral projection, we can experience just the astral body, or very rarely we can experience the mental body. And the mental body is very unique. I just had, I believe, 2 experiences in the mental body. It's completely different because in the mental body reality, there is no time, there is no perception of space, so there is no space. So it's not it's hard to talk about the mental body. We do not know much about the mental body, and it's very rare to go out of your body and have an experience in mental body. So it's not very common. And in the mental body, you do not receive information in the regular way. It's like you receive blocks of information. You talk in blocks. You do not talk in words, or you talk the entire idea. It's hard to explain. I don't know how to explain that. So every one of those bodies exists in one specific dimension. The physical body exists in the physical dimension. The energetic body exists in the energetic dimension, and the astral body exists in the astral dimension. And of course, the mental body exists in the mental dimension. So why do we have bodies? These bodies are called vehicles of manifestation. Each body helps you to experience the existence in a different dimension. Why is that? So it helps us to manifestate ourselves or our consciousness in one specific dimension. So the bodies, they work like a suit. So we cannot go under the water because the bottom of the ocean is not an environment that is appropriate to our physical body, to this body. Here we cannot breathe under the water, but we can go there if we wear a special suit. So in this image here, we are seeing one of those suits. So in this special suit, I can go under the water and I can stay there for a while. In the same sense, a body helps us to enter in a dimension or an environment that is not an appropriate environment for the consciousness. So the consciousness itself cannot go there. But if we wrap the consciousness with a special suit or a body, then the consciousness can manifest itself in that dimension. So we wear a special suit called physical body to come to the physical dimension. We wear a special suit called astral body to go to the astral dimension. Why we do that? I have no clue. I have no idea. But that's what my experience tells me, what I could see through my astral projections and through my studies. But no one seems to have a very clear understand of why it happens. So we know it happens, but not why it happens. It requires more research. And at some point, you're going to arrive at this the solution of these questions. We need more people researching that, and that's why I'm making this video as well. So that is a body. It's a special suit for a dimension which is not an appropriate environment for the consciousness. In the same way, this suit here is a cover or wrap to our body, so we can go to this type of environment like the bottom of the ocean, right? I hope you understand. Now, what are dimensions, right? So I'm saying we need the body, we need a suit to enter into a dimension. So, and a dimension is like an environment that is not appropriate to like the physical dimension. We cannot manifest ourselves in our astral bodies, at least not in general, right? We can talk about poltergeist phenomena, but in general, you cannot see, you don't see spirits moving stuff around, right? We have poltergeist phenomena, and we can talk about that. But in general, a spirit cannot move things or do things in the physical dimension. So the spirit cannot manifest itself in the physical dimension. So to manifest itself in the physical dimension, we need a physical body. So what is a dimension? A dimension, as I said, is like the bottom of the ocean, right? It's a different dimension, a different world, a different environment. It can be an aggressive environment if we go to the bottom of the ocean with a special suit. So this is Saulo Calderon. He's a Brazilian as well. By this point, and by my accent, you can tell that I'm a Brazilian. And I'm showing these Brazilian guys because I think they are they're the best guys at this moment on the planet with knowledge about astral projection. So he has this series of videos, and here he's talking about the different dimensions. So he says that we have 7 dimensions. I cannot claim that that's true or not, but what I experienced are at least 4 or 5 dimensions, different place, different, completely different environments, completely different populations living there. So it's the astral, like the astral is divided. We can understand that thinking like about a city. A city has different neighborhoods. Some of them are rich, some of them are very poor, some of them. So we have different dimensions, and people who experienced those dimensions, who went out of their bodies, and we can see the astral projection experience even in the Bible. If you read the Bible, you're gonna see that some people there were having astral projection, but they called those experiences with a different name. So some people that experience these different dimensions, they call these dimensions hell, heaven, and different names in different cultures. So there are some very dangerous and aggressive place, some very aggressive environments, and some very calm and how can I say, very safe environments here. But by my experience, there is no thing as punishment. You go to this or you go to there because you are being punished by this and that. By my experience, people live in the different dimensions because they want to live there. They want to stay there, and there are reasons for that. And if you go out of your body, you understand what I'm talking about. So there are different dimensions, and what defines or what divides the population? The level of density, how dense their body is, how dense the astral body is, how dense the physical body is. So the denser the body is, the denser or closer to the physical dimension the person or the consciousness lives. So we have very dense bodies, so we are in the physical dimension. Spirits or consciousness having more dense bodies, they are more close to the physical dimension, and spirits that are less dense, less attached, stuff like that, they live in the higher dimensions. So their bodies have a different level of density. So let's talk about I hope you understand the bodies. We're gonna talk more about about dimensions and the different bodies and how you can work on these different bodies to achieve the astral projection. But right now, I just want to give you a general introduction to the topic. So we have the energetic body, and when we are attached, when the bodies are attached to each other, like my bodies are attached here right now, it generates an energetic field called aura. So we have this field around our bodies. It has different colors or different formats. And if you want to study more about that, I recommend you the book Hands of Light. It's a very good book from Barbara and Brennan. I don't make any money from anything that I'm saying here. Everything's for free. These are just recommendations of good material that I like, so you can study. So just to tell you that it's not merchandise. All right. I don't think anyone wants to merchandise this type of subject, but yeah. So in the energetic body or the energetic field that is created around us that holds the bodies together, we have our chakras as well. And this energetic field is changing shapes, changing colors according to our emotions, our thoughts, stuff like that. And this energetic field is what retains the bodies together. By that, if you are smart, and I believe you are, you are starting to understand the process of astral projection. So if I want to astral projection, I need to weaken my energetic field. I need to make it more loose, because if the energetic field is what connects both of the bodies, like the astral body and the physical body, the stronger the energetic field is, the stronger is the bond between these two bodies. The weaker this bond is, the weaker is the connection or the bond between these two bodies. So it's very important to work here in the energetic body or in this energetic field, and to work in the chakras, in these centers of energy, to achieve the astral projection. So we need to clean our energetic field, make it as subtle as possible to produce the astral projection. Now, I'm not asking you to believe again in these things that I'm telling you here. I'm just asking you to keep an open mind. And when we come to the energetic techniques, try them. Try the techniques. Try them for weeks, for a month, and see what happens, see what you feel, see how it changes, and observe yourself, see how it changes your dreams, your perceptions when you go to sleep. See if your dreams change, if stuff like that happens to you. When you are doing the experiment, it's very important for you to observe yourself, to observe the quality of your sleep, the quality of your dreams, the phenomena that's happening around you, right? Now coming back to the silver cord, the silver cord and the energetic field are the same thing. They are the connection between the body and the astral body. But when we are connected, when we are inside, when we are inside of our bodies, it's an energetic body. But when we are out, when we move out of our bodies, our physical bodies, when we are in our astral body, it becomes the silver cord. We don't know much about the silver cord, but as I said before, the silver cord allows a connection between the physical body and the astral body. And the silver cord allows the communication between these two bodies. The silver cord comes from the Bible, from the King Solomon. He talks about the silver cord in the Bible, and he claimed that when the silver cord breaks, then we die. And that's what we have documented in many trustful source, that when we die, the process of death is the disconnection of the silver cord. So it's according to trustful source, it's a very technical process of disconnection. So whenever our body lost the ability to stay alive, some spiritual technical people, whatever they are, I don't know, they come and they work on this disconnection, and they disconnect both of them. Only then the body is fully dead. So the silver cord is what vitalizes the physical body. And whenever we lost the connection of the silver cord, then the physical body dies. Here we are seeing someone going to sleep, and that's the best position of the body to achieve astral projection, belly up, right? There's a more technical name for this position here, but I don't remember that. So this person is moving out of his body. And we can see here that the closer the person is to the body, more connections we see. All these connections are chakras. So we see a lot of different connections here. But when he starts to going farther from his body, when he moves far from his body, these connections start joining, merging together and becoming one unique or one connection. So the closer the body to the body we are, the thicker is the silver cord. Further we move, more subtle, more thin it is. So we can see here that it's thicker, and then it's less thicker, and then it's at some point it disappears. To be honest with you, I never seen the silver cord. I never experienced it. I met many people that experienced the silver cord. They say that when you are very close to your body, then it's easier to put your hand on the back of your head, and you can grab it, you can feel it. And someone told me it's blue, like a shining blue, something like that, but hard to explain. But I never did that, because when you are, the closer you are to your body, the possibility to be pulled back, the greater is the possibility to be pulled back to your body. So I never stay close to my body for a long time to experience the silver cord. I never think about that, to be honest. I just want to move out. So I never stopped there to say, okay, let me check this thing here, let me grab the silver cord. But I met many people who did that. But yeah, I cannot talk much about the silver cord. The only thing that gives me the perception that the silver cord really exists is many times when I experience astral projection, I have the feeling in the back of my head, very, very strong, as I told you, the feeling that I had in my first astral projection. So I have this very strong feeling here, like something, like pulling me. I don't know. But yeah. So let's explore the lucid astral projection types now that we understand those basics. So there are 3 main types of astral projections, right? The astral projection that everyone wants to practice, to experience, the continuous consciousness astral projection. What is continuous consciousness astral projection? is the astral projection when you go to sleep or to meditate or something like that. You keep conscious, or you keep your consciousness, I'm sorry, excuse me, awaken until you move out of your body. So you do not lose consciousness at any moment of the process. So you are pretty sure that you moved out of your body. So this is called continuous consciousness, but that's the hardest type of astral projection to reproduce. Because, as I said before, we are not used to the process of allowing our bodies to sleep without allowing our consciousness to sleep. It's doable, and I'm telling you that because I did that hundreds of times. But it's not easy. Many people have a really hard time reproducing continuous consciousness astral projections. Now we have non-continuous consciousness, and how that happens. It happens when you move out of your body unconsciously, and then what you can do to produce an astral projection then you can wake up your lucidity when you are somewhere. Many people confuse the non-continuous consciousness, because the non-continuous consciousness is basically I'm dreaming, I'm tripping, I'm out of my body, but I'm not conscious of the process. Then all of a sudden I acquire lucidity. I say, oh, I'm out of my body. Oh, okay, I'm in this situation here. I'm out of my body. Okay, I understand that I'm out of my body now. I acquired or I achieved lucidity. And many people confuse that process with lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming and astral projection are not the same thing, although lucid dream is an astral projection. But in lucid dreaming, you are still dreaming. You are not completely lucid of what's happening. You are partially lucid, but things are changing. You can create things with your mind. You can see things. When you are lucid, when you are fully lucid, it's a reality. In the same way, I cannot create this mouse. I cannot change its form. I cannot do that in astral projection. I cannot change things around me. I cannot create forms. I cannot see things. I cannot say, oh, this thing is terrible. I'll transform it with my mind. It's not possible. You are lucid. Although there are many things you can do, but you cannot change the environment or stuff like that. And there are partial projections. It's very common as well. So sometimes we go to sleep and we see our hands out of the body, our legs out of the body. We move and we can see they are a little bit transparent. So that's when we are inside of our bodies, but parts of our bodies, they move out of the body. Parts of our astral bodies, like our hands or stuff like that. There are also the exo projections when we move out of the planet, and it's possible I did that. Not many times, but a few times I was able to move out of the planet. It's not common, it's not very easy, but it happens. When I had this experience, I started thinking that these institutions like NASA and SpaceX, they are very stupid, because we could explore space in a different way, just moving out of our bodies. And the astral body does not breathe. So if you are in your astral body, you can go to space, you can go to the sea or any environment like that, and you don't need to breathe. So it's one type of experience that you can have. There are the assisted astral projections. Sometimes guides or spirits, friends of ours, they can come and they can help us to move out of our bodies. So we call assisted projections. We are not And I had many continuous consciousness astral projections with assistance. Like my first experience was continuous consciousness because I was consciousness of what was happening, but partially because I didn't went to sleep with the intention of astral of projecting myself. Another type of astral projection is the near-death experience. So when we see many people saying that when their body went to a surgery or when they were in an accident, they saw people, they experience certain things, and these things are not explainable. But what happened, if you understand, if you understood what I said, is anytime our body lost the ability or the energy to hold our astral body, we move out of the body. And some people, when they are in an accident, they move out of their body and they keep consciousness for some reason that we are not very sure why it happens to some people, but not for others. But what we know is it's one type of astral projection. So we can see here this guy here in this image, he moved out of his body and he is still connected to the body, which means that he is alive through his silver cord. Excuse me. One thing that is very important when it comes to astral projection is remembrance of the experience. So many times we move out of our bodies, we experience the astral dimension, but we do not remember the experience. So although the near-death experience can happen to everyone, anyone who faces an accident moves out of their bodies, not everyone will remember that. So remembrance is very important. It's something that we need to work when we are talking about astral projection, because many people, they move out of their bodies and they remember the moment they were moving out, but they don't remember what happened after that. Or sometimes they don't even remember the experience. So it happens to me many times. I move out of my body, I just remember the beginning of the experience, then I lost it. I cannot remember it. So it has no use for me if I can't remember. So one of the things that we need to work is our capacity to remember what happened in that period when we were out of our body. So there are techniques to improve that, to bring that memory back. Here we have double projection. So double projection happens when we project through our mental body. So in the same way we move ourselves out and we manifest ourselves in our astral bodies, from the astral body we can have a second astral projection and generate a projection in our mental bodies. As I said, it's not common, it's very rare, very unique experience. It's an amazing experience. The sensation here is amazing. It's unexplainable, inexplicable, but I cannot tell you. I don't know. We don't know how to reproduce it, how to generate this experience. We know that it exists, but what are the techniques to generate that? I have no idea. That happened to me. I don't believe I did that. I believe someone helped me there, assisted me on having that experience. All right. So general recommendations for someone who wants to try astral projection. We are not talking about any techniques yet, but if you want to start trying, if you are very curious, if you want to see if you are able to do that, if you believe it's easy for you, what you can do is use the natural conditions to do it. Many people, they try to achieve astral projection through meditation, it's very hard. It's way harder than using natural conditions. Like I know that when I go to sleep, my body will shut down. So I will use this condition of my body shutting down to move out of the body, because it's easier than try to enter into a meditative state and concentrating and stuff like that. Just use what is natural, what the easiest possible path. Try when the environment around you is quiet. So it's easier to practice astral projection is in the middle of the night. So my recommendation would be wake up. I do that. I wake up around 3 a.m. I drink some water. Then I do some techniques, and then I lay down and I say, okay, now it's time for astral projection. It doesn't work 100% of the time, but it works the majority of the time for me. So when the environment is very calm, it's easier for you to move out of your body. It's harder. It's possible. I did that, but it's harder to do in the middle of the day. You have noise, you have cars, you have, things happening around you, so it's not easy. Sleep alone. The best is to have a special bedroom for astral projection. So make sure no one will touch you, no one will move you, no one will talk to, because as I said, the silver cord is very sensitive and anything that happens can pull you back. And when that happens, it's also easy to lose the remembrance of the experience. So the best, if you can, is to sleep alone. It doesn't mean if you have another person or a girlfriend, a boyfriend, if you are married, it doesn't mean that you cannot do that. You can, but it's way harder, way harder. Also because of the energies. When you are sleeping together, you share, you have a shared energy field. So it's not easy to get around your own energy field and your partner and energy field. So eat something light. Do not eat, a lot of foods with a lot of grease or a lot of oil, stuff like that. Eat something light, maybe a soup, eat some bread, something very light that will not make your body work too much. Make sure you are comfortable, comfortable clothes, comfortable temperature. Make sure nothing will bother your body. So make sure that you are not thirsty, you are not hungry, you are not. More things to bother your body, greater is the possibility that your body will not allow you to move out of your body. So you need to be in a very good state of mind, in a very good physical state, then you can move out of your body. Emotional balance is a key. You need to go to sleep very relaxed with a clear mind. If you are concerned about your job, if you are concerned about your work or about what happened in your day, if you keep thinking about those things, if you are nervous, if you are depressed, it's harder. It's possible, but way harder. So you need to, I cannot tell you how to do that, but you need to figure out how to achieve some emotional balance. It doesn't mean that you need to be perfect. I'm not perfect, but it means that anytime you are unbalanced emotionally, it's harder to go out of your body. Also, when you move out of your body, you need to have some emotional balance. Some people, they move out of their bodies or they wake up they have an continuous astral projection. They wake up, they are dreaming, then they acquire lucidity. Then they get very excited. Oh my God, I'm out of my body. Then they come back. The silver card pull them back because the silver card identifies that there's something emotionally challenged and it pulls them back. So when you move out of your body, you can get excited, but not too excited. Keep your emotions as balanced as possible, so you can sustain the experience. Try to keep lucidity most of the time. It's very hard, but keep asking you. One of the greatest challenges of astral projection is we believe that when we are out of our bodies, something will be different. Our bodies will be different. We're gonna feel things differently, but that's not true. The body looks the same. It feels the same. It's like the same thing. So one of the greatest challenges is to tell when we are out of our bodies and when we are in our bodies. One day I was sleeping in. This is the bed that I use for astral projection, and I went to sleep. I lost consciousness. I rolled in the bed, and I fell into the floor, and I heard this very strong noise, boom, and I said, "Oh my God!" I fell from the bed. Then I stand up. When I stand up, I see my body in the bed. I say, "Oh, I'm out of the body," and all of a sudden I was pulled back, and I couldn't tell the difference between both of the bodies. Then I understand, oh, I need to keep asking myself during the day, am I in my body or am I not in the body? I need to question, because since I don't know the difference, since I cannot tell the difference, I cannot be very sure that I'm in the body. How do you know that you are in your body right now? How do you know that you are not dreaming, that you are watching a video about astral projection? You need to ask yourself these questions all the time. It helps you to acquire lucidity when you are out of the body. And the last of all is be patient. If it's something you never did before, be patient. Try the techniques, do that, and be very patient with yourself. I'm telling you, if you keep trying, if you are persistent, you will achieve the astral projection. That was it for this video. Very long video. I'm sorry about that. I hope you like the content. I hope it helps you to understand what is astral projection. And I hope you achieve, you arrive, or you experience your own astral projections. That's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll be posting another videos talking more about astral projection. Bye.